and diplomatic options to ensure that this decision by the Canadian immigration is reversed. Now, so they sought emergency court intervention to force his entry into Canada for the match. Unfortunately, the court decided that they were going to dismiss this motion. They ruled that the court cannot issue a visa because that is outside of its jurisdiction. Also because it was the immigration or the travel officer's decision to turn this, around in favor of Canada and not in favor of Partey. And so the court has no power to actually issue a reversal. But no serious legal issue as well was established with the visa refusal. And the judges for Thomas Partey had indicated that if he should miss one game, that could cause some irreparable damage to himself, the team, etc. But the court said that really missing one World Cup match does not meet the legal threshold for irreparable damage. And the balance of convenience favors upholding Canada's immigration issues. So as it stands now, he cannot enter Canada for the Ghana versus Panama World Cup match. He remains in the United States with the national team. And, they were looking for two outcomes when the Foreign Affairs Ministry and, of course, the legal team decided to plead with the court and file that application to reverse it. What they were asking for was, one, to either reverse the decision that had been made barring Thomas Partey from entering Canada, or then they should give him a temporary visitor's visa. And so that way he could have just been there for just a short period, maybe just during the match, and right after that he would return to the U.S. where they are based and expecting to play against, England and, of course, Croatia. Unfortunately, the judge says that is not within his jurisdiction. He cannot reverse it, and neither can he also grant temporary residence visa to Thomas Partey. And so that's the situation at the moment. But a lot of questions were being asked, and that's what we mentioned earlier, by the way, about how the application was filled, the answers that were given, and how that could have also affected the overall decision by the judge. The fact that they indicated that Thomas Partey's team, whoever filled that form, ticked no when they were asked if he was facing any criminal charges at the moment. And for me, that is a grave mistake, literally. Because clearly they are in touch with the UK, they are in touch with the US. They communicate
even
across the board.
Even if they are not in touch with anybody,
they do.
The thing is on
it's
social
online.
media.
And it's even online. So all they have to do is just enter your details online and they'll find out. Again, Canada, we know, is part of, the UK Commonwealth family. So clearly there's some correlation going on between the two countries. If you say that you do not have any legal charges against you, any criminal charges against you, all they have to do is just call the UK and find out.
Simple.
And that's why we are where we are today.
Even for normal visa applicants to the UK, to Canada and the US, if you're found culpable or if there's any error in your application, if you told a lie or whatever it is and you're refused, that information alone is circulated to all these embassies for even normal applicants, normal people who do not even have criminal allegations against them. So how much more Thomas Partey, who is facing 7 criminal charges? We do not understand. Who filled the form to also say that this is his first time at the World Cup? And how is it Ghana's first time also at the World Cup? I just hope that they'll be able. I don't think they would even do it. The GFA will not do it. I don't think they'll pinpoint exactly who filled the form or who helped him put this together. I really do not know. But don't we have a legal team at the GFA?
So those are the questions that we need them to answer, because if there is, then who okayed this application to go before the court? Did they read through it? If they did they notice that there were some mistakes in there? Why did they not rectify those mistakes before it was put before the court?
And then again, Bella, the Foreign Affairs Ministry was also in charge of this. Did anybody read proof? Did anybody did anybody go through it?
I don't know if the Foreign Affairs team should be blamed necessarily.
No, I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying as well, because those are also valid questions that people are asking.
Right.
And I'm saying that I don't know, especially when it comes to legal matters. Maybe we'll have to leave it for the legal people to answer. But I don't know if they are to blame for it. There was a legal team that was supposed to ensure that this happened. I mean, some of the questions that were even asked the lawyer representing Thomas Partey in court, and the answers that she gave, it sort of looked like she wasn't really familiar. For me, that's how I got it. She wasn't really familiar with the happenings, surrounding Thomas Partey. And that's why I find it bizarre, because especially that UK question, well, US question, where they asked that when you applied for the visa in the US, did you make it known to them that you had, those issues pending? No? And you said no.
How do you take no?
So it's a very dicey situation, and well, moral of the boys, I hope that their spirits will be high regardless.
Hopefully,
to our expectations.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Messages are pouring in already. Phone lines would also be activated in a few minutes. But Simon Yang is saying that good morning to both of you, and thanks for the good work this morning. Cookie, with or without Thomas Partey, the Black Stars will triumph over Panama by God's grace. I believe Partey can still participate in other matches outside Ghana. Ghana's spirit is still high. Simon Yang sent in that one. Kwame Acidity says, good morning, beautiful ladies. By hook or crook, Ghana Black Star will come out with flying colors tonight. Special greetings to Usu Nkrumah Ababio, incoming half original chairman. Okay, no problem at all. Humador says, I'm heartbroken this morning. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Thomas Partey has not been convicted of any crime. He has pleaded not guilty and is awaiting his day in court. The principle of justice is that allegations, no matter how serious, are not the same as proof. If people begin to lose opportunities, careers, and freedoms based solely on accusations before a verdict is reached, then the presumption of innocence risks becoming an empty slogan rather than a meaningful legal principle. A fair society must allow the courts to determine guilt or innocence through due process, not through public opinion or administrative decisions made before a trial has concluded. My biggest question is who filled the form? And that's the question we are also asking this morning. Joshua Yaochi says, your arguments are funny. Was Partey blind? He saw the application and appended his signature. Let's focus on the match and forget this. All right. Mamoin says, they thought the system in Canada is not working like theirs in Ghana. So they wanted to cheat, all right? Prince Nanaya York, I'm sorry, says, good morning, Cookie and Bella. Ghana 3, Panama 0. Ghana will still win without Thomas Partey. All right. Bella, do you have messages? Otherwise, there's more here.
Just pulling up. You go ahead and read.
Sammy Frank Bachman says, for me, I'm grateful for any outcome. This should rather ginger the team and make them a lot more angry. Not to only draw, but to have them win through the group stages. All right. And Bella, someone says that they've got a hit song for Black Star that they want to share. Emmanuel Mensah, we'll wait for it. Share it with us and let's see what it sounds like.
Even National Speed is struggling to get his song. Akwabaka is getting is struggling, but let's see how it goes. But there's one that I got from Twitter yesterday. It's from one Ohene Bampo Brenya. I believe he's a sports journalist. And he says that no player fills his own document on international assignment, not even at club level. If there were errors in Partey's application, someone at the FA is responsible. So as far as he is concerned, the person who filled that form, even if Partey appended his signature, that person is the one to be held responsible for the mistakes that we witnessed in that application. So again, Rahman Osman, also a respected sports journalist, says the person who first filled Partey's form should be questioned, made a mess of the entire situation. Too many lies. How do you say first time Ghana qualified for World Cup? Partey never played in a World Cup. Said he's been playing for Villarreal for 5 years. They didn't mention his case on his visa. Lawyer showed bias claiming he's innocent when that isn't what the topic is about. So, in SMP, that's the struggle right now.
Let's see what happens tonight at 11 p.m. when Ghana finally plays Panama for their first appearance at the 2026 World Cup. But in other news, there is a looming crisis, waste mounting in the Ashanti region in Kumasi, and our brother and our correspondent Ibrahim Abubakar has put this package together. Let's take a look and we'll come back to the Black Star issue.
Here in Kumasi and its surrounding communities, tricycle waste collectors play a vital role in keeping the city clean. Every day, they move from house to house and shop to shop, collecting refuse and transporting it to the Oti landfill site for disposal. But what should ordinarily be a quick and routine process has become a major challenge. The collectors say the breakdown of bulldozers used to compact and level waste at the landfill has slowed operations, resulting in long queues and delays. According to the collectors, instead of the usual 20 minutes, they now spend several hours and in some cases almost an entire day waiting for their turn to dump waste.
I do 1, 2, 12, Nina age name. And the problem now Nina and the platform now Muyenu or Muye and then so suta Yantiminko and then my tune a baby breeze and then my pre bolano.
The prolonged delays means many of them are unable to make multiple trips each day, leading to reduced income and increased operational costs. The protesters are therefore demanding immediate intervention from city authorities to restore normal operations at the landfill site.
The machine that they are using at the landfill site is almost old machines. And only one who told you that the machine that we are facing, we are using at the landfill site, that machine can help us to solve the sanitation problem in the Ashanti region. It's telling lies.
We need the government to step in. The mayor came in here, no results. He gave them 10 days ultimatum. Yes, still no results. As we are saying, joke on joke, today no Aboboya is going to sleep on landfill here. We are going to offload wherever we are parked. We are going to offload.
The collectors warn that if the problem persists, it could undermine effort to maintain sanitation standards in Kumasi. City authorities, however, say the situation stems from a bigger challenge facing the landfill.
As of now, the place is full. It ought to have been closed by 2019. So we have gone beyond its capacity and its lifespan by 6 years. And so I sympathize with the people of Uti. What we are taking them through, it's not fair. We're only pleading with them that we have not forgotten about them. We are working so hard around the clock to make sure that we find a solution, relocate it, and then we can bring some sanity to the place.
For now, the tricycle waste collectors say they will continue to engage city authorities, hoping for a swift resolution to a situation that they say threatens both their livelihoods and the cleanliness of Ghana's second largest city. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Thank you, Ibrahim, for that one. And I'm told that he's joined us on Zoom this morning for further deliberations on this waste crisis in the Ashanti region, particularly in Kumasi. Ibrahim, good morning to you if you can hear us.
Good morning, Putu.
How are you doing?
By His grace, we are doing very well.
All right. You're doing a great job all the way in Kumasi, but take us through it again this morning. What's happening with the landfill sites? What's causing the delay? Exactly what is going on with waste management in Kumasi?
Okay, so Cookie, the Oti landfill site was operationalized somewhere in 2004, and it was designed to last for 15 years, meaning that by 2019, the place should have shut down. The place is full to capacity. Currently, when you go there, we are just improvising, trying to make do with what we have. But then I also remember that somewhere in 2021, the then president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, commissioned the Kumasi compost and recycling plant. That was meant to bring mitigation to this one. So with that operationalization of that plant, it meant that all the refuse that we collect from Kumasi, between 2,000 to 2,500 tons daily, not everything was meant to be disposed at the landfill site. Then we had to send a chunk of it to the plant for recycling purposes. But unfortunately, as we speak, that facility is not being utilized fully because government owes, I'm told, Zumulayo. But then, like I said, the OT1 was supposed to have been closed in 2019. We are in 2026. We are still using it. So currently, when you get to the site, even access to the dumping ground is a challenge, especially when it rains. And also that facility, because government owes the contractor for about between 3 and 4 years, they've also not been able to get enough funds to be able to buy new machines to make operations effective. So the bulldozers, which are supposed to level the ground for the tricycle waste collectors to be able to come there and dump their refuse, is also faulty. So it's not working as we speak. So when they move, some of them will work as early as 4 a.m. By 5, 6, they'll be able to collect the refuse that they need. They move to the dumping ground, which ordinarily the process shouldn't take them beyond 20 minutes. But currently, people are spending 5, 6, 10 hours and even an entire day before they are able to get access to dump. So when you get there, you realize there is a long queue from Oti to Kase, which is about, I would say, more than 1,000 meters queue, long queue. So now they are complaining because the more these people are delayed at the landfill site, it means that we also be left with pile of refuse in our homes and also at the marketplace. So these are the challenges, and now they just want authorities to address this as soon as possible. But then they are also looking beyond that. Now KMA is trying to expand the cells so that they will be able to dump more refuse. But then there are also questions about sustainability and even managing waste entirely. Whilst others are pushing KMA to look at recycling of these waste rather than just dumping of it. KMA also says for the time being, they are also sourcing for funds to be able to expand it. But in all this, we are putting up a documentary. In fact, we are done with the 30-minute documentary, which will soon be aired, just so we will look at the broader picture, because we are talking about shutting down the landfill site. But this landfill site is not only about dumping Kumasi waste there. It is also serving as a lifeline for many, because we have these waste collectors, hundreds of them sourcing their livelihood there. Then we have also what we call waste pickers. Also hundreds of them. When you go there, you find every day 500, 600 of them at the landfill, also sourcing their livelihood. They come there to pick anything they can salvage for recycling. Talk about plastic, metals, anything that can be used also for compost. So they are also there. So they are also looking at that angle. If it's allowed to shut down, where will these people also move to? So we are just holistically or looking at the broad picture about trying to manage our waste in Kumasi whilst also ensuring that we do not deprive these people of their livelihood.
Ibrahim, we can tell from the videos that these young men who use these tricycles to collect the refuse have set ties ablaze and they seem very agitated. What exact message are they conveying through this very activity?
Well, for now, for them, they just want authorities to act and ensure that they are able to dump their waste when they get there. And for the past 3 days, some of them have been sleeping at the dumping site because they went there. They are told that they cannot have access to the dumping ground itself. So they've been there for the past 3, 4 days. They've packed their tricycles there full of waste. And for them, any delay means that they are denied opportunity to get money. So the more they delay there, the more they also lose. And it means that they will have to enjoy fewer trips and also less income. So when this new development came about 3 days ago, yesterday they decided that enough is enough. They also have to protest and let authorities know that they are in need, and for that matter, something be done as soon as possible to enable them dump the waste and also be able to go back to their various destinations and bring another waste. Like you heard the KMA mayor say, he says this is even beyond dumping the waste. They are also sourcing alternatives, which should be done within the week or 2 weeks, sourcing alternatives so that they will get them a new place for them to begin dumping the refuse while they try to fix this current situation. Because like I rightly mentioned, you go there, the bulldozers are unable to work. It's been raining too, so access also to the main dumping ground is also a challenge for these tricycle operators. And they say they are paying money anytime they get there. So they also do not understand why authorities are not taking steps to address this situation.
Ibrahim, did you say that the bulldozer which is leveling the refuse is only one and it's broken down at the moment?
Exactly. That's the information we're taking. In fact, as at yesterday, it wasn't operating efficiently. When we got there, it was moving, but they told us that it works for some few hours, then breaks down again. So, and that has been the challenge with them. So they are just pushing authorities to do the needful. The contractor is saying he has not been paid for the past 3 years, and for that matter, there are no funds for him to also procure new machines and be able to work effectively or efficiently. So that has been the challenge. So the anger is also on authorities, also on central government, because these landfill sites, even though it's under KMA, monies will have to come from the local government ministry to pay the contractors for them to also be able to maybe procure new machines and expand the even lifeline of these dumping.
Ibrahim, have you picked up any government response so far regarding this? What is the KMA saying? What are the district assembly saying? What is government saying in effect to this problem that we are facing in Kumasi?
So, you see, even though the Oti landfill site is being managed by KMA, so KMA is bearing the cost of everything. But then we also have additional 10 or 6, between 6 to 10 municipalities within Kumasi that also rely on that place as their dumping ground. So KMA says currently it needs about 6 million euros to be able to expand the cells. And getting that money is also a challenge. And we do know that for even municipalities and metropolis, any spending that is beyond 1 million Ghana will have to come from central government.
Yes.
And they are also pushing from the local government ministry to release this fund. In fact, they said they have spoken to the finance ministry and they have given them assurance of releasing some funds for this swapping. But as we speak, the monies are not in, and they are also working with the Kumasi Traditional Council to get another place for them, for the tricycle operators to be able to dump. That's for the temporary measure, whilst they work with government to get those needed funds to keep this facility in operation. For now, even with the K-Cap, government also owes them lion. So that place, as I speak, is able to process about 3,000 tons in a day, 3,000 to 3,500. Kumasi is currently generating 2,000 to 2,500. So it means if government is also able to fulfill its obligation, its part of the obligation, we wouldn't be where we are at the moment. It means even the waste, chunk of the waste will not be sent at the dumping ground, but rather be sent to the recycling plant for it to be reused for maybe other important things.
Ibrahim, last question before you go. If by the end of the week this problem is not salvaged, what do you think will happen in the Kumasi municipality?
It's going to be a blow to most of us, because currently, as we speak, we move to some communities. You'll find some of these tricycle waste collectors fully loaded, but they packed in those communities, because their complaint is that even when they drive to the Oti landfill site, it will take them days for them to be able to dispose of the waste. So it means that the more this issue drags, the more we will experience sanitation-related issues in our various communities, and also within the central business district. Currently, you go to the central business district. So you see piles of refuse there because these people have not been able to move there to collect all these refuse.
We
So
can imagine.
we are just praying and hoping that at least by the close of the week, something be done so that this wouldn't explode to something that all of us wouldn't be too excited about.
Ibrahim, keep an eye on it for us. By the end of this week, I'm sure we'll come back to you again. But just before you go, I see you supporting Ghana in your own way in your Ghana jersey. What's the atmosphere like in Kumasi this morning?
Well, I can tell you that the love for Black Stars has not favored. Previously, we thought people had given up on the Black Stars. But you walk around Kumasi and you find a lot of people in their Black Stars jerseys. People are buying it. Just for the past few days, I've also realized that the prices are surging, but people are still buying it, supporting the Black Star, hoping that at least we will be able to win our first match today. Then we will manage with England and also Croatia. The bottom line is that we want to move beyond the group stages and also, even if not winning the cup, at least get to a certain level that will be more appreciable. So the support is there. People are just hoping that there wouldn't be much of disappointment. So now we've seen some of the African countries doing their best. Others are also trailing behind. But then we have hope in our Black Stars, and we are confident that by because the match will start on Wednesday and ends on Thursday. So by Thursday,
we will know our smoothness level. Yeah. What's your prediction, by the way? What's your prediction, Ibrahim?
Well, I'm looking at 2-0. I'm not expecting Panama to score a single goal. 2-0, at least that will boost our confidence, our morale to be able to support and support.
All right, Ibrahim, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much for coming to us this morning with that waste management crisis and, of course, your predictions on the Black Stars match tonight as well. Thank you very much, Ibrahim Abubakar. He's Ashanti Regional Correspondent. Bella, we are back here in the studio. More messages coming in. Dennis Joe says, Bella and Cookie, I just want to encourage the boys that they should go and make us proud. We only need 2-0, just like Ibrahim said, from them. And I'm very sure they will do just that. Dennis Joe from Aflao sent in that one. Abbas Amogobo says, the whole country is behind the Black Stars to win today's game. Black Stars is the only thing that brings this country together. Tiana Chris says, kudos to Ibrahim. His reportage is always detailed without fidgeting in words. God bless him and open greater doors for him. Amen to that. Good morning to Cookie and Bella. You are both looking amazing and doing a great job for Mother Ghana. God bless you. We appreciate your comments. Engineer Ishmael Abubakar says, good morning. Happy birthday to Dampak Kofi Daniel, Director of Too Shore Constructions. All right. And Michael Echampon says, where is Zoom Lion? When we decide to destroy our own Zoom Lion, this is what happens. When we decide to listen to these small minds to kill the waste management giants, this is exactly what happens in the country. Okay. Thank you for your message. Bella, do you have any? Otherwise, I would like to read this one from Courage Kotoka that says, as a matter of fact, I do not understand the Canadian court's decision. Which part of it don't you understand? Are they saying that their immigration authorities have more power than the courts? Why can't they direct the immigration authorities to reverse their decision and follow Thomas to play? Well, God knows best. From what I can see, Ghana is going to win, and we may meet Canada later in the competition. Whether they allow Thomas Partey to play or not, we remain confident in our team's chances. Courage Kotoka Angloga, that should be from the Volta region, sent in that one.
Courage, maybe you should take your time and go through the response from the court.
Right.
If you read it, and if you're privy to the letters that were written to Thomas Partey's team after they had applied for the visa, where he indicated that he did not have any criminal charges, he was not facing any allegations against him. And then they wrote back to Thomas Partey and said, we have noticed that you actually currently have criminal proceedings going against you in the UK. Can you furnish us with those details? It was after that letter was written to Thomas Partey's team that they now sent the details of what he was facing in the UK. So as far as you're concerned, if you ask me, I even think that just that lie alone, that omission,
it was a lost case before it even started,
was enough,
right?
Beyond the fact that if you have any legal proceedings against you, any criminal matter against you, then you are inadmissible in the country. Just the fact that they even told a lie was bad enough. But, well, we'll see what our guests on the big issue have to say about this. And that's not the only topic we're having a conversation on. As it stands now, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has also been granted a green card in the U.S. And so questions are being asked as to whether that complicates the matter concerning allegations also proffered against him or charges proffered against him by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Yesterday, one of his lawyers was speaking. He says that as far as they are concerned, they have not been officially served with any charges. So they are not aware officially of any charges. They have not received it, so they don't even know why the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Special Prosecutor himself has been speaking to the public, letting them know what the former finance minister has done, when they, as a team, and even Ken himself, has not received any official note indicating that he has been served or he is being charged with allegation A or B. So those are the conversations that we'll be having on the big issues this morning. And then much later, of course, when sports comes your way, we'll delve deeper into this matter and understand better from the sports journalist how this affects our play tonight and subsequently in the World Cup. But just before we start that, perk up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Perk Milk Shortcake. It is pure delight. Ose Black Star. Shouts to Emperor GH, by the way. I'm rocking my scarf today. Today, we're going to enjoy it.
We will.
On the show.
Naguchi has a message for both of us. Says that tech in America, it's a t-shirt brand, it's a clothing brand. They also want to send us jerseys. Yes, so we're waiting for it. We'll make our choices and then send it to you. But yes, if you want to send us jerseys or Ghanaian-made interpretations of what the Ghanaian jersey should look like, please, we are here for it. Send it to us. We'll rock it for you. And we'll say a big thank you and promote it for you as well on our socials. Thank you very much. Ali, my flag no so. My flag no so.
Oh, say Black Stars, Black Stars, Black Stars.
All right.
We will still win, whether we win or lose. The vim is like 50%. When we score, then now we'll raise this all the way.
We shall score them. We shall put pepper in their eyes.
Emperor brand, love this. Thank you so much for this beautiful gift.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with a big issue.
You're welcome back, and this is the big issues on TV3 Newday. It's time now to have the conversations that all of you have been looking forward to. And the whole of yesterday, all of us were waiting for that final verdict from the court in Canada regarding Thomas Partey's application to have them reverse a decision that barred him from entering Canada to play or to be part of the team that plays Panama today. Unfortunately, after hours of waiting, it was indicated that the judge or the court had dismissed that application on various grounds. And so we'll get into that conversation. I see that lots of Ghanaians are very upset about the details of that, and also upset about the fact that, you know, for some reason, Canada just did not reverse the decision. But we'll get into that. Also, we'll be talking about former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who we're told has been able to secure a green card for himself. And so that application has been granted by the United States of America. And so that gives him the chance to stay in the U.S., if you like, permanently, or for as long as that green card holds. And so how does this affect his case in Ghana, especially knowing that the OSP at a point had declared him a fugitive? Eventually, they took down that declaration, but they have also proffered some charges against him, and they're expecting him to be in Ghana to answer questions to those charges. And so does it mean that getting a green card now might prevent him from coming, sort of, or does it affect the case in any way? If you're joining us on Facebook, good morning to you. Thank you so much for choosing us. But in the studios this morning, I have Mr. Solomon Owusu. He is the Director of Communications for the United Party, and he joins us. How are you doing?
I'm good, Bella. And, nice to see you. It's been a long time that we had a program together.
It has. Our video went viral.
Viral, yeah. I remember that video. That was the days of heat. I'll call it heat.
Oh, now things have cooled down, eh?
Somehow.
So you're good. Because I've been watching you, and the way you and Dr. Zato have been giving each other heat on this show.
Because he doesn't want to repent. But he will be forced to repent.
Well, anyway, if I've mentioned Dr. Zato, I might as well just introduce him. Dr. Joshua Jebuntie Zato. He is a senior fellow.
You pronounce my name better than Solomon and even Roland Ha. I mean, the Jebuntie. That is it. You've done very well. You see.
My name is Bellamundi.
Bellamundi, yeah.
I understand the game.
Oh, good. Yes. Good. Game recognizes game, right?
Hey, okay. He's a senior fellow, Africa Policy Lens, senior lecturer at the University of Ghana. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Bella.
Where's your jersey?
Let me give a big shout out to Mr. Yamusa Zebrim. He's the owner of the Best Western Hotel in Ghana. He's also the owner of the Sheraton by Four Seasons. An excellent entrepreneur who is giving business, who is creating businesses and jobs for Ghanaians. This morning I celebrated. This morning I thank you. You see, some of the jerseys came from Jubilee House. I was waiting for mine to come. They didn't come. They only gave it to Solomon Owusu.
He told you that he got his jersey from Jubilee.
Yeah, CEO is here. So me, even JC. You are giving only to Jubilee.
How much more?
A poor university lecturer like me. I should get bed. I didn't get.
You know the owners of hotels. You are poor.
You just did a free.
No, I'm just a poor university lecturer.
But you know rich people. You've just mentioned someone.
I know somebody doesn't mean that I'm rich.
The shirt that you are wearing. How much did it cost you?
They gave you. See, that's what.
Okay.
You see them.
Please calm down.
Here, see you. You see
Please calm down. Let me introduce our third guest for this morning. ADG Tamaklo is the CEO of the National Petroleum Authority. He's also a private legal practitioner and a member of the NDC. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm excited and I have a huge hope for today's game.
You do?
Absolutely.
But why didn't you give Dr. Zato a jersey from the Jubilee House?
You know, when you were...
That is what you say. No.
You didn't get yours from Jubilee House.
I bought my jersey.
Why did you buy one for you?
This one is bourgeois. I went to downtown and bought my jersey.
Allow me.
Yes.
So you're wearing false.
False.
So let me do my intro. Today,
your intro is finished.
Today,
No, please let him.
Today, I'm so confident that the Blaster will win 4-0. And Antoine most likely will start the scoring. But you know, Bella, when you were introducing Dr. Zato, you introduced him as a fellow of the African
senior fellow.
You know, one of the things I want to admire Dr. Bawumia for is that after the defeat of the 2024 presidential election, he decided to set up a think tank. Which think tank will help the MPP in terms of policy formulation, among others, for his presidential candidate. Which think tank happens to be the African Policy Lens. I think it's good. It enriches the debate.
There's some factual inaccuracies.
Hold on, you let him land.
Bella, no, the guy has already started on factual inaccuracies.
Please, let me just conclude.
No, it's a factual inaccuracy that he's actually the wrong established or launched Africa Policy Lens. That's a factual
inaccuracy. He didn't establish it?
No.
Okay. Who established it?
No, we can talk about that, but he didn't establish it.
Okay, so he didn't. Okay.
So let's
He did not.
You just briefly so that we can get into our conversation. Gentlemen.
Do you have any evidence to prove that?
Relax.
Yes, let's go back.
Please let him land so that we can get into our conversation. We have a lot to talk about.
So the point I am making is that I think it's good when politicians set up think tanks to help them in policy formulation. It takes the conversation from vandalism to policy debate. And so, the vandalism in the context.
I see.
And so I strongly believe that it is a good thing Dr. Bawumia set up the African policy.
Okay, point me.
To help
Point me. He also says he did not. So I understand. You said he did not.
Yes.
We'll take your word for
Because
it.
he has no evidence to prove otherwise.
But you know, today he is supporting Panama.
And that's why he's not wearing
Yeah, that's why he's not wearing it. He had enough.
Okay, let's ask ourselves.
By the time we are done, we know the people supporting Panama.
Why would a Ghanaian support Panama?
I said I knew where all this was coming from. That was the propaganda that he was about to make.
The people supporting Panama.
Well, even before we play
also
Panama.
know those who got their JCs from Jubilee House on
Someone who says he got it from Force Line.
Which Force Line? We'll see those who got their JCs from Jubilee House.
We'll have an idea. Those who are wearing, those
Aren't we
supporting
supposed to be
Panama
banning youth clothing
from their
to protect
attire.
our environment?
You see?
Well, we've enjoyed. Let me just introduce
Bella,
our
where did you
final.
get your JC from? Was it also from Jubilee House?
No.
No, I have no connection to Jubilee House.
No, we
I
don't
can afford-
manufacture.
No, you're like
I can afford my
Jubilee
own.
House doesn't manufacture.
Unlike you, I'm not
t-shirts.
poor. I can buy my own jersey.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Anyway, also joining us is Yabua Manyako. He's a private legal practitioner and the MP for Efia constituency. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Match day, you mere suits like that.
Because in Parliament we have parliamentary sitting today.
So you're not allowed to wear jersey?
We've
No,
not been
Speaker would
cleared.
have excused you if my senior intended.
We've
in your
not
support
been
for Panama,
we've
the
not been
subtle
formally
support
cleared.
for Panama.
To request
No,
otherwise.
you see what is that? You see
You hold
what
on.
So if we are cleared officially by the speaker to wear it before Friday, I believe on Friday we could be permitted
Okay.
to wear.
I
So
see.
But there's something common. The MPP guys are not wearing anything Ghana.
They are supporting Panama.
I wasn't sure. I thought you said independent. Well, good morning to our viewers on Facebook. Agongo, he says, where's Roland Walker? Roland is on leave briefly. He'll be back soon. Can we get live coverage of today's game? Yes, it'll be live on TV3 Abdullah, so you can watch it. Also, good morning to Godwin and to Prince. At this moment, Ken Oforiatta and the family must be barred from any public office. That's Prince Nanaya. We'll get into that conversation shortly. But good morning to all of you who are tuned in on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube at TV3 Ghana and also on DSTV channel 279. Let's start off our first conversation with Thomas Partey. So,
Man is a very respected member of the Energy Committee of Parliament.
Oh, nice.
And he has been scrutinizing my work. I'm subject to him.
but you're happy with the work he's doing? Are you happy with the work he's doing?
Yes, sir.
There's this your MPA bill that is coming. We have
On that note, let's start a conversation. All right.
Before I proceed on this, my very good brother, Edward, he intends to bring a new MPA bill, which is going to transform our entire petroleum downstream sector. And we are going to support him. But there's something in it around the management of BOST that I want him to reconsider before he brings it.
Okay.
Because BOST is a strategic institution.
No, the boss MD himself.
You let's leave this conversation
at the right
time. When you both are ready to discuss it publicly, maybe we'll get into that conversation.
This is politics. This is governance.
On that note, let's get into our first conversation
This is politics
this morning. And yesterday we all waited, well, maybe impatiently, for the courts in Canada to make a determination as to whether they'll reverse that earlier decision by the immigration in Canada to prevent Thomas Partey from entering Canada. And they said it was also based on the fact that once you apply for a visa to Canada, they have to check your background and make sure that you don't have any criminal proceedings against you, any criminal charges against you. And once you do, then it's very likely that you will be inadmissible into their country. And so he had his visa refused or rejected as at Sunday night into Monday morning. And the Foreign Affairs Ministry indicated that they were going to deploy all possible options, so from legal to diplomatic, to ensure that that decision would be reversed. Yesterday, a hearing was held in Canada at 9 a.m. In fact, it was 1 p.m. here in Ghana, and we all were waiting to see what will come out of it. Unfortunately, by evening, we heard the news that the court had dismissed the motion, and so basically they were not going to overturn that decision and allow Thomas Partey into the country. Now, let's look at some of the issues that came up, which is why they decided to overturn that decision. And so we'll take a look at the response from the court. And so these are the details. It says here that I have concerns that you do not meet the requirements put upon you by subsection 16(1) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, IRPA, which states that a person who makes the application must answer truthfully all questions to put to them for the purpose of the examination and must produce a visa and all relevant evidence and documents that the officer reasonably requires. This is actually a letter that was written to Thomas Partey on the 15th of May. On the 25th of May, after he had applied for the visa on the 21st of May. Now, in applying for the visa, there were some questions he needed to respond to. One of them asking if he has any criminal charges leveled against him in the UK, if he is currently in court over some criminal allegations, and he ticked no. And so the immigration from Canada now wrote a letter to him on the 25th of May, and that is when they put out that letter indicating that you are required to answer truthfully all questions that are made available to you when you are applying for the visa. Now, they said that they had noticed, and if we can bring that letter back on the screen, they said they had noticed that he was currently facing some criminal charges in the UK. In fact, 8 counts of sexual misconduct in the UK. And so if that was the case, they expected him to furnish them with documents showing that indeed he was facing criminal charges in the UK. So this is the letter. Like I said, it was written on the 25th of May. So let me just quickly go through it. They said they had reviewed the application. If we can just go up a little bit, it says that a person, I have concerns that you do not meet the requirements put upon you by subsection 16(1) of the Immigration and Refugee Protection. A person who makes an application must answer truthfully all questions put to them for the purpose of the examination and must produce a visa and all relevant evidence and documents that the officer reasonably requires. I have additional concerns that you may be inadmissible under subsection 41 of IRPA, which states that a permanent resident or foreign national is inadmissible for misrepresentation. A, for directly or indirectly misrepresenting or withholding material facts relating to a relevant matter that induces or could induce an error in the administration of this act. Specifically, to ensure that you meet this requirement, I require further information regarding your current charges in the United Kingdom to assess your admissibility to Canada. Our research shows that you are currently facing several charges for sexual assault in the UK. Please provide any and all court police documentation regarding these charges. Then a response was sent from the GFA to the Canadian government on the 27th of May, responding to this particular one. And there they indicated that they had attached all documents showing that he was facing criminal charges. That was on the 27th of May. And then eventually, a response was given to Thomas Partey's team, and they said they cannot allow him into the country because of these charges. So this is the GFA letter that was written to the consular office of the Canadian Embassy in Accra on May 27th. And so if you scroll up a bit, it says that we write with reference to the visa application for Thomas Partey. Attached are the requested documents for your perusal and necessary action. So the big question is, why then did they take no on their visa application? Because clearly that was a lie. And we know that when you lie on your visa application, they'll find out some way, somehow, and they'll reject you. So that's clearly what happened in this case. Maybe I should start off with you, Solo.
Yes, good morning, and to your cherished viewers. This is a matter that goes beyond just what you have been told by the embassy that someone takes a no, and we must not take it as such. It has to go to the entire foundation of FIFA, what we are discussing. Because remember, Thomas Partey is not going to to Canada on his own business. He's supposed to be in Canada for his for what you call as part of a national team.
Yes.
So yes, on the face of it, he took no, meaning that he lied that he was not facing any charges. But my difficulty is the whole arrangement of FIFA. Because remember, these games, it's not Canada that is organizing the games. It is a FIFA organized competition. Now, FIFA in its own wisdom invites countries to come and what? Bid for the hosting right. Canada, US, Mexico did so in 2018, telling the entire world that you are all welcomed to Canada. You understand? As we speak, from where I sit, a person is innocent until what? Proven guilty. Yeah. So that must also go into the decision. You don't just take it on the face that because someone, which was an error, I don't even know why the person would do that, because Partey's case is obvious everywhere. That you go and take a no for that. But granted that even happened, you go beyond that.
Who goes beyond that?
The embassy must go beyond that.
Okay.
The Canadian consulate must go beyond that.
If you lied on your application, it must go beyond that?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it means somebody genuinely made a mistake. But when they requested the subsequent letter that you provided from GFA, didn't they attach court and police proceedings? It means clearly somebody erred. And you understand, some of these taken, maybe the one that was doing, thought it was just a mere taking. And that is why you have an opportunity to go back and defend yourself. They gave him the opportunity to come and explain himself. He went back and explained that, yes, I'm facing some charges, but these are the processes that are taking place. But I'm saying that beyond that, you must look at why Partey is going to Canada. He is going there to play football. For Christ's sake. Is it the case that in going forward, hosting countries, if they see that there is a player that is good, they must forcibly find something wrong on their visa application for and deny the person.
Is it forcibly?
But the person has explained himself. Is Canada telling me? Is Canada telling me that anybody that has been charged or convicted of rape is not supposed to be in that country? Is that what they are telling us?
They say that's their law.
That is their law.
As long as that issue can be tried in their country and it's tried as a grave issue that can land you in prison for a number of years, they usually would not allow you into the country.
You know Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was convicted of rape charges. In fact, he was imprisoned in 1992. You understand? Since then, Mike Tyson has visited Canada more than 5 occasions on promotion, on entertainment, and other issues. So is it the case that because Partey is coming from Ghana, he cannot enter, but Mike Tyson can enter? You know Calvin Brodus, the person that you people call Snoop Doggy, you know him? Snoop has been convicted on several charges, including drugs. But Snoop, the least opportunity is in Canada. That is why I'm saying that the Canadian consulate should have looked beyond that error, because it's obvious.
But you cannot make that error and expect that the Canadian embassy should do the work for you, Solomon.
So I did tell you that if all our players made that error, they would have bounced all of them and Ghana wouldn't be there.
The law is the law.
The law is the law, I agree, and that is why it has afforded him the opportunity to explain himself. Clearly, from the explanation that has been given, somebody made a genuine mistake, because the prosecution of Partey is not in doubt. It's a public knowledge. And for anybody to sue that and still take no, it means there was a genuine mistake. And this is the reason why subsequently they attempted to provide documents to back their position that yes, it was a genuine mistake. And I'm saying that the inadmissibility does not lie only in the fact that someone has been charged. If that were the case, then Mike Tyson would never step foot in Canada again. Then Snoop Dogg would never step foot in Canada again. But here is the case that someone has been convicted even of rape has been going to Canada. So that cannot be the position here. And that is why they should have looked at it from the angle of being a football, representing Ghana, being part of the Ghanaian national team, and going to Canada by virtue of the fact that FIFA decided to take that tournament to Canada. But in that regard, I believe that this must also reform the sort of agreement that FIFA, you know, before they give you the hosting right, there is what you call the hosting right agreement between FIFA and the host country. That has to be included. This must be an eye-opener to FIFA that, look, if you do not take care, for instance, the issue with the referee, Omar, yes.
Yeah.
I thought CAF should have, entire African continent should have even boycotted the World Cup. You understand?
Because that referee was prevented.
Of course. It is not the referee's fault that you decided to take the World Cup or send the World Cup to the United States. It is not his fault that he's coming from Somalia. Why must your local laws deprive him his profession? You understand? So that if you don't take care, countries will use visas to be denying right professionals from as it were, exhibiting their skill. And that is for me that difficulty.
Okay. So, but at the same time, and very quickly on this one, should we not be holding the GFA's feet to the fire as well?
That one is another matter.
Because clearly they are the ones that responded. So that means that they filled the form.
Yes.
And they made the mistake.
But
it seems as if this morning you seem to be putting the blame at the Canadian embassy.
No, I am dealing with the first phase first.
Okay.
As for GFA, I have told you time with that number. These are football people. I have no confidence in them. They are not representing the interest of this country.
The GFA?
The GFA, they have never represented the interest of this country. And so, this is another matter. I am dealing with the pressing issue.
Okay.
You understand? The pressing issue being that the visa officer, the issue officer should have known beyond what was said that Partey was not going to Canada as a tourist. He is going to Canada to play football in the same way you have admitted Mike Tyson on condition that he's coming there for entertainment purposes. The same way Partey has been coming to was going to Canada to entertain.
Okay.
As part of a Ghanaian contingent. So if somebody made a genuine mistake, and I see it as a genuine mistake, because I don't see how someone could have concealed the fact that Partey was going through what do you call it?
Genuine mistake.
Oh, I think it's a genuine mistake.
I
because
see.
Subsequently,
when filling visa forms?
Well, they do. It happens.
You know, for the US, for example,
Yes.
they can even go as far as banning you for 10 years for withholding information sometimes.
Which information is
I'm just saying that sometimes, I'm not saying it's a clear... yes, there's an opportunity to appeal,
Yes.
etc.
So he appealed.
But, well, in this case, the judge says that it is not in his jurisdiction to overturn the matter.
Fine, fair you. But what I'm saying is that it is a FIFA organized competition.
Okay. So you think that there was some clear sabotage there?
Even if they don't take care, the next time Ghana hosts World Cup, then we will look at the country that is coming, look at their key players, and we go back to their visa forms and find fault with it and bounce all of them, and then the game continues. How are you going to keep the competitiveness of the game?
I see. Dr. Zato, let me bring you in at this point. Do you agree with your best friend here?
He's talking as if he has played some football. I mean, I don't know anything about football. You don't know anything about football. Look, what is happening is that what we are witnessing, actual witnessing, is amateur hour at the GFA. If there was any serious counter, serious FA, somebody there has to be fired. Somebody there has to lose his job. We have men and women there with the chain of degrees and with multiple years of experiences. For them to sit there and drop the ball this low, it means that they are not fit for purpose and they're not fit for their jobs.
But I disagree.
We must always make these points very clear. Thomas Partey, I don't know his educational level, but even if he is, it doesn't matter. His business is to play football. There is somebody at the GFA employed, hired to take care of such diplomatic issues. If they
like a protocol.
Exactly. Yeah. If they don't have that officer, that GFA is useless. If they have, the question is, first, why were they applying for the visa in May? Why? Why me? We qualified.
They should have done it earlier or what?
The season
Because you see, by FIFA rules, 2nd June was supposed to be the day for final submission of the list.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And so the visa processing cannot precede all those matters. So by 27th May, they had a fair idea
Around
who
that
the
time.
26 months.
But the point I'm
So
saying,
You have to bear in mind that the very person you are accusing also possessed for more than 25 players, and they all had a visa. So I am telling, look at it from that angle.
So
Yes.
let him
So my
make
saying is
point.
that when you were doing it, you had a special case. No matter what, we all knew Partey's case was, for want of a better word, special. It stood out. Secondly, we all knew, no matter who you were, even if you made Solo the coach of the Black Stars, Partey was going to the World Cup, or he would have been selected for team. Unless, if it was the Tottenham guy, Kudus, then he was battling injury. Then you're like, okay, it's doubtful. Partey was not battling injury, and there's no way you are going to leave Partey behind and go to the World Cup. So we know these two things. We know when it was, and we know he was going. You would have been doubting if Andrea Yu is going. But you are not doubting if, what's his name, Partey is going.
Okay.
So somebody slept on his or her job. Somebody refused to do what he was paid to do. Secondly, filling this form. Look, when I saw the form, I filled that particular form, those forms, a lot of them.
Okay.
In my life.
Okay.
Remember, I studied in Canada, I stayed in Canada, so that form is so familiar. And that warning is always there. So it's not just a matter of taking no, that's what somebody's saying. Did an immigration advisor or lawyer sit down to go through and fill in the form? Did somebody do that? Did they reach out to the Minister of Foreign Affairs to say, look, Mr. Foreign Affairs Minister, we need maybe a Canada desk. I'm sure they may have enough American desk or even a Canada desk there. Did the GFA reach out to them to say, look, hey, we need some expertise from the Canadians, specifically because of the special nature? Did they do that? That's what I'm saying. They're amateurs. That's what I'm saying. They slept on their job. Did they do that? Because we are dealing with a very important issue that is of national concern. Today, everybody in Ghana is concerned about this. Not only Ghana, all over the world. You are now punishing Thomas Partey twice. The guy is here to deal with criminal charges. But you are punishing him because all over the world, he's not looked like he's guilty. Why do you put a young man through this?
And you are saying the GFA is...
Somebody, the person there who didn't take care of this. Because my argument is that this should have been treated as a very special case. If it had been, and then they had gone, the GFA protocol or whatever office they call them, if they printed the forms, they could have engaged their legal department. They could have engaged their foreign affairs. Because on Monday I had Honorable the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Blacker, yes.
And from the way he was speaking, I think he was just brought into the issue. I don't know, maybe it's possible. He was just brought into the issue. And all of a sudden, he's on the phone, frantically trying to consult his colleague to see how by that time this loss had passed. Why wasn't he involved early on?
But if that's the case, should we also not blame the Canadian embassy?
No.
If you're saying that he's been punished twice,
No.
Why are they also then indirectly saying that Partey is guilty? Because that's basically what
they
the
are
application
saying
says.
Partey lied on the form. Did he lie? Yes.
Yes, beyond that as well.
No, it's not beyond that.
Okay.
I want us to understand that. And sometimes that's the issue we talk about. Did you lie on your form? He did. It was the duty and responsibility of someone to make sure that he didn't lie on that form. Did the person do his job? Because the two lawyers are here. If you stand in a law court, raise your hand, promise to speak the truth and the whole truth, and your first question you lie, your credibility is probably shredded as a reliable witness. So, but somebody had to teach him that. Somebody should have sat down with him and said, look, these are the questions. Especially since we know. It's not this, it wasn't a concealed indictment. It wasn't something we know this happened. Somebody said that, and that's what I'm saying. If that person who didn't know should have done that. The fact that they did not do that, they let Ghanaians down. They disappointed Ghanaians. If they were serious and if they were responsible, somebody should have been fired, somebody should have been resigning, or somebody should have been taking responsibility. But this is Ghana, nobody will do that.
Well, one of our viewers is saying that regardless of whether he took the yes or no, Canada would have still rejected him anyway.
No, we don't know that.
Well, because their law clearly says that if you are facing criminal charges or if you've been charged, then you are likely to be inadmissible into their country.
It's likely.
So
you are likely. It means that, so we don't know. The person, we don't know if he had taken the yes, whatever, we don't know that. What we know is that he takes no, was denied the visa. We don't. Secondly, if he had then taken yes, maybe the judge would have taken that into what? Consideration. To say that at least you were honest, you were truthful, and extenuating circumstances, whatever you guys call them, lawyers call them, could have then helped.
Okay.
But the fact that...
I Are we being fair to the facts?
That's the point.
Well, you let him make his point.
The facts we know them, myself, we are saying that he didn't take that he was under prosecution for distance, and that is part of that. So my point is that, and this should serve as a reminder to all organized institutions. When you are representing the country Ghana, you must remember you are representing aspirations and dreams of millions of people, and that you take your job seriously. We don't care what you do or don't do at your job. All we Ghanaians wanted was to make sure that these players go there and hold high the flag of Ghana. Okay. You drop the ball, and this young man is paying for it, and Ghana will pay for it. That's not professionalism.
Right. Counsel, where do you stand on this?
Okay, so first of all, like I gave an indication, I'm disappointed that Partey is not making up to Canada. But like he's always stated, every country has the authority to decide who comes in, who leaves. Now, there's a context to this particular conversation, and that is why I associate greatly with the submission of Solo on this matter. You see, this is FIFA World Cup. It is not an ordinary visit to Canada. If it was just Partey, the family saying we're going for some holiday, because the essence of that particular provision is to safeguard the Canadian community or environment from a potential criminal. That is the reason for that provision in their law. So the context that is required under these circumstances, why is Partey going to Canada? Once that answer is resolved that he is going there purely to ply a trade, which trade is that he is a member of the Ghanaian contingent for this particular World Cup. A unique scenario. This whole conversation comes in if it becomes clear that Partey intends to overstay his World Cup. Then you can kick in this provision. Okay. But in this circumstance, we are playing in the US, we are playing in Canada. These two countries actually share information for immigration purposes. Now, first of all, it cannot be the case that it is because of somebody's omission. That is why Partey was denied. It cannot be the case. That's an afterthought. Okay. The reason why it is an afterthought is that the Canadian embassy here in Ghana didn't take the decision on the spell of the information provided on the application form. They demanded for additional information before the decision was taken. So it cannot be correct that at the time the refusal decision was made, they didn't know that in fact he had been convicted of an offense. Because in most instances, when you are refused the visa, it is after the refusal that the reason for the refusal is provided you. But in this case, prior to the taking of that refusal decision, they asked for additional information. In fact, if you look at the chronology of events, you gave an indication that the Canadian embassy actually wrote to the GFA. Yes. And the GFA on 27th of May responded with those additional information. Yeah. So it cannot be correct that at the time when that decision was taken, respectfully, they didn't know that in fact he had a criminal
Well, they wrote
process.
back afterwards explaining to Thomas Partey why they refused him the visa. If you'd permit me to...
No. What I'm trying to say is that prior to that taking decision, they knew.
Yes. I get you. That's what I'm saying. That so eventually, after they also...
No, but that's post the decision. Okay. But I'm saying that prior to the taking of that decision, you knew in fact that you knew in fact that he was going through criminal proceedings. You see, the people we deal with, the Americans, the Canadians, all the big countries that we deal with, their rules are not often applied evenly. Let nobody mistake that. Look, the Somalian referee, the whole Africa, after a tournament, came to the irresistible conclusion that this young man is the best referee on the entire continent. Now you go and say the guy has association with terrorists.
So you have denied the best of it.
Bella, do you know that for a long time, Nelson Mandela was on the U.S. sanction list of a terrorist? Do you know that? Because at that time, the African National Congress, ANC, was described by the American State Department as a terrorist organization. Do you, in fact, believe that the ANC that were fighting for whatever at that time was a terrorist organization? So I am saying that depending on where their interest lies, they grant the visas. Curiously, the Americans granted Partey the opportunity to come notwithstanding this information.
And they even explained that he's not guilty until it's been proven in court, so they cannot buy him from entering.
Canada, just as Ghana, the US, America, we are common law in terms of reasoning, legal text, among others. One of the most important organizing principles of criminal justice is the presumption of innocence. That rule applies in Canada just as it applies here. And so the whole idea that the mere filing of criminal charges against him is enough basis to, and then they usually use what they call the dual criminality test. The offense there, is it an offense in
here? Yes.
Exactly. So that once they come to that conclusion, they may, and that is why if you look at the provision, it's not mandatory refusal. You may, looking at the second. And I'm saying that the fact of Partey going to partake in a football competition should be enough extenuation circumstance to warrant a grant of the visa. But again, like I said, this is a sovereign state they have. I have, you know,
on this for me,
yes, I'm landing. I have looked at the reasoning of the judge. He still left an opening.
Yes.
In fact, if you look at what the Ottawa judge said, he left an opening, which means that the Republic of Ghana can appeal that decision by providing additional circumstances. And I strongly believe that FIFA, as the organizing agency, in some of these issues, must specifically intervene.
They say they can't intervene in issues.
You see,
they spoke about it. And they said they cannot direct a sovereign country.
They are not. You see,
should admit it.
No, you are not directing. You see, there are two things when you say directing. When you are directing, it's as though you are instructing, do this. But you see, when you have this unique circumstance, look at the manner the Iranians football team, they were allowed by the Americans to come into the U.S. Immediately they played their game, I think in Los Angeles or something. They were immediately made to go back to Mexico. If they have another game, so what you could have done is to give a temporary opportunity for Partey. He comes, he plays this evening. In the next 4 or 5 hours after the game, he's back to the United States of America.
The visa is temporary resident visa. The visa is
I agree, but in terms of even the stay, you can control the mechanism. How many hours do you need to play football?
It's only
let me bring you out. Let me bring you out in.
That's the point I'm making.
So this is what FIFA said. FIFA is not involved in the immigration processes of host countries, including the adjudication of visas. As with previous visa events, the host government ultimately determines who receives a visa and who is admitted into the country. Let me bring you out. No, I'm not agreeing. I'm just reading. I'm just reading. Let me let you come in. To be fair.
What is your problem? Somebody has remembered their government catechism. What is your problem with Pontius Pilate this morning?
The attitude Apostles' Creed. He suffered under Pontius.
His name is Infantino, Gian Infantino.
Yes, so the Pontius, the Romans. But you see, the point I'm making is that FIFA is trying to hide from its utmost responsibility.
Absolutely.
Fair play. You see, FIFA has a name. And the slogan is what? Fair play. The idea of fair play, that is why you can't even bring a player who is unqualified.
Yes.
The whole idea is to ensure even level. This is a person what the Republic of Ghana, a member of FIFA, believe that if this person is in the team, it gives us a fair deal as far as the game. And if you deny me, How can you call this fair play?
So who should we be blaming at this point? The Canadian Embassy,
the FIFA and all the people.
GFA.
I'll blame FIFA.
Me, I'll blame GFA.
No more Canadian Embassy.
No, blame GFA.
But you are
okay, gentlemen. Please allow him.
GFA. They are not.
Good morning.
They are non-existent.
GFA is non-existent.
I believe, picking the thoughts of my colleagues on the table, it's very clear that Ghanaians are very dissatisfied with the position of the Canadian Embassy in this matter. However, it's not the time to lay blame, but clearly, from the processing of the documentation and the request for Partey or GFA to submit further and better particulars, and as my colleague counsel said, they had the opportunity to make a determination after they were seized with the full facts. But again, they might have taken that evidence to come to a conclusion that Partey lied.
Yeah.
So that position to either grant or not grant, based on the facts before them, was dependent on how they wanted to take the decision. Whether they were only looking at the fact to say that, oh, you've provided us
of the evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they came to that conclusion that by providing those evidence to us, it means in totality that you intentionally or you may have not been truthful to the embassy.
No. Senior, with respect, when the embassy wants to refuse you on the basis of inaccurate information, they will say so. This one, they are saying that they now know that this is what you are facing, and on that ground, they are refusing. It's two things.
Okay.
You see, you know, in terms of the legal analysis.
I get the context. I get the context. So now it's up to us to look at the entire FIFA position in terms of how they deal with these matters. I'm very disappointed in Infantino's grounds that they leave the determination of immigration matters to the countries because they are sovereign in nature. As we've been discussing, the sovereignty of the states cannot be in doubt. But this is FIFA's game, and FIFA has a role to play when it comes to making sure that there's fairness in terms of representation of teams. And so if the matter is not too much an issue where any reasonable man may come to the conclusion that it is fair for someone to be denied entry into a particular jurisdiction, I believe that FIFA has failed us. In the instance of the Somali referee as well, I don't think if it had been any other referee whose background suggested anything like that, they will come to that conclusion. It's just a position I hold that Africans have to rise up and defend itself and each other in terms of how the West or these countries take certain decisions against us. But we have to also be very careful in terms of how we prepare ourselves. Like someone might have pointed out, if the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, knowing clearly that these issues are possible, they have its possibility of being used against us, we could have initiated diplomatic means of engagement with the Canadian Embassy, particularly in the case of Partey, such that by the time these issues are even being determined, there would have been some diplomatic background conversation to lead to Partey being given the opportunity. Now with the decision, and as Council said, there's a room for Ghana to make a review position. And I believe that we should exploit that opportunity.
So we shouldn't let sleeping dogs lie?
No, it goes against even the person.
Once we move further, we may have to go back to Canada.
Exactly.
So
and as the things getting tightened, and you have to go back to Canada.
And psychologically,
it's less than 1 hour flight. So
psychologically for the team and the player,
Ghana should peacefully come home.
Psychologically for the team. If the team goes and are traveling to Canada without Partey, and they are being given indication that this was because of these facts and the fact that there's uncertainty as to his mental frame to support the team in play, it destabilizes.
Okay.
And so if you're able to push this and bring finality to it by him being granted the visa, I think it will go a long way in giving the team a boost. And just to end by saying that against Panama today, we can't fail as a country, because if you look at the performance of the African teams in this tournament, it's one of the most impressive at the very first matches. You have Cote d'Ivoire winning against Ecuador, you have Egypt drawing against Belgium, you have Morocco drawing against Brazil. And
Senegal played a very good game yesterday.
But last minute, just 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's when they lost. But they still played a good game.
If you look at the teamwork, the quality of play, and the resilience of the team, I'm looking forward to something extraordinary from Ghana. Though the team might not have been compact from the very beginning, they should be inspired by the performance of the. Look at Cape Verde against Spain. How could you even? You'll be waiting at those times for 6-0, 7-1 against those African teams.
I mean, this is one of the global giant football.
No. Spain, Brazil, and then all of these teams, and you have these African countries in their first game drawing and winning. I believe Ghana has to rise up to the occasion. The coach has a lot of responsibility, and we can only pray for them and share them too.
What are your predictions? Scoreline, if
I am expecting a 2-1 victory for Ghana today.
Yeah, okay. 2-1 as well. As Solo, he even wants us to come home. He wants us to boycott. 4-0 against who?
Yeah, Panama.
Is it because they conceded 5 goals in their last friendly?
We are doing 4.
I see. You think we should boycott and come home? Or?
That's too
supporters
radical.
must manage the expectation.
We've already chopped the FIFA money. We can't come. What's the problem?
Panama's match.
You go pay the money. Will you pay the money to FIFA?
You think so?
It will be the most difficult match for Ghana because Panama, their players have nothing to lose. You see, when you are playing against big nations like England and Croatia, their players are playing the top tier leagues. So they have their league matches or their clubs to fall on again after the contest. So 50-50 battles, they may not bring forth their legs or their foot. Panama, local champions, you bring your foot there, they will clear it like something. So it's going to be the most difficult match in the group. So expectation must be minimized. And then whatever comes out, we take it in good faith.
Okay. Well, let's see how that goes. Let me just read a few messages before we move on quickly into our second topic. Lauren says, I'm watching you people live. Black Stars all the way. We should pray for Ghana Black Stars. That's a Blade Fiakuma. Our best performance will be a draw. That's Dramo Hezron. Okay, we hear you. Dr. Notedria, I see you're watching us. Well, good morning. He says that we think we can fix anything. Do we read forms and take our public roles seriously? Even straightforward law and requirements to declare assets or pay mandatory statutory funds, accounts to Ghanaians, etc., will default. The heartaches of some of these competitions are sadly off the field of play. All right, Mr. Impactful, I see you on Facebook. Thank you very much for the good comments. Your arguments are funny. Was Partey blind? He saw the application and appended his signature. Let's focus on the match and forget this. That's Joshua Yao Otre. Your namesake. Okay, so Ken Oforiata could not have gone into Canada too then. That's from Evans Ibn Samba. Well, unless the law is tested, we don't know if that would apply. Partey would still have been denied the visa even if there was no mistake on the visa application because of his case in court. That's Yao Martin Dedume Anku. We're going to watch it live in Melbourne. Okay. Bella, please ask FIFA if this Partey issue was to be Messi or Ronaldo. Would FIFA be making this statement? Canada is a hypocrite. Okay. Let's focus on today's match. We hear you. A lot of messages are coming in as well. Solo, you're right. The MPP hates Ghana, so they don't wear Ghana t-shirts. Oh, I didn't see this early enough. Dr. Zato, are you saying that Partey couldn't also read his application before appending his signature on it? Let's move on to our second topic now. And we're talking about the former finance minister, Ken Oforiata, who yesterday we were told that had gotten his application at the U.S. court approved for permanent residency. So let me just read the details to you. So former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, I see Solomon is readjusting himself.
Oh, no, it's right. Hey!
He has secured a significant legal victory in the United States after an immigration court approved his application to adjust his immigration status, paving the way for him to obtain lawful permanent residency. The decision was delivered on Monday during proceedings in which the court considered Mr. Ofori-Atta's I-485 petition a key step in the process of acquiring permanent resident status in the United States. And according to his lawyer, Frank Davis, the court examined issues surrounding the criminal investigations and charges currently facing the former minister. The judge reportedly raised concerns about some of the circumstances linked to the actions taken by Ghana's Office of the Special Prosecutor. During the hearing, attention was drawn to the OSP's earlier declaration of Mr. Ofori-Atta as a fugitive from justice, which we know now has been taken down or withdrawn. So the court reportedly heard that the declaration was made while the former minister was receiving medical treatment in the United States and at a time when his legal reps were still engaging with investigators in Ghana. So evidence was also presented by a witness familiar with international policing and Interpol procedures who reportedly questioned aspects of the process adopted by the Ghanaian authorities in pursuing the case. Now, the question that many are asking is, with this new status that the former finance minister has, would it affect one way or the other the case surrounding, the charges that have been leveled against him? In fact, lawyer Frank Davis yesterday says that they have not received an official, word from the OSP, no notification whatsoever. It has not come to their table. Neither has their client, Ken Ofori-Atta, also received any notification from the OSP. So as far as they're concerned, there's no charge against him. They don't know why the OSP keeps going to the public, crying foul and indicating that Ken Ofori-Atta does not even want to come and answer questions because they don't have the formal charges before them. Dr. Zato, I'll start off with you on this one. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't actually know. And I don't know what the hula baloo about this whole thing is. I don't know. We are trying to make a very simple case complex. What is the case Ghana has against Ken Ofori-Atta? You want to try him for crimes that he's allegedly committed. That is the whole case. Mm-hmm. So far, I don't know anything that is preventing the state from doing that. I don't know. There are two lawyers here, they may tell me. I don't know what is preventing the state from prosecuting Ken Ofori-Atta for crimes he committed. I don't know. So I still don't get the case. I don't get what is. It doesn't matter. Look, we just the United States just deported a Ghanaian citizen. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. And we all know. Look, in the United States, you cannot get the distance from a green card to citizenship is not a year. It's not 2 years. Something can last up to 5 years. In fact, they sometimes there's a legal requirement. Yeah. Is it 5 years or so you must do?
It's a number of years. Well, yes. It depends on how you apply.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Get it quicker.
Good, but the point I'm making is that nothing has still changed within the Ghanaian calculus. Your case is that the man, while serving as a public official, misappropriated or stole public resources. That is the case Ghana is making. Still go ahead and make that case. Go to court, go before a judge and make that case. Get your conviction. Then send your conviction to the United States and say, look, one of our citizens is in your jurisdictions. He has been convicted by a court of competent jurisdictions of crime A, crime B, crime C. Because of that, send him to us to face justice. And that's a simple case.
But that's the process that's ongoing at the moment.
So that's what I'm saying right now. I don't know what the hula baloo about him getting a green card or whatever it is. I don't get it. Because you see, if you read the letter Frank Davis says, it is part of this public bashing. It is part of this over-politicization and partisanship of the case that he is trying to say work in the favor of what? Ken Ofori-Atta. Because they were now able to try to prove to an immigration judge that this is a kind of a political lynching. That the man has not even been convicted. The man's fundamental rights have not been protected. His right to, how do you call it, to prosecuted, to declare, to be innocent. We're just talking about Partey being innocent until this. All this is, the corpus of all this came together. There were even people, including, did you go for the protests at the U.S. Embassy?
Yeah, I was there.
Yes. Yeah. Protests against what? If the laws of this country, and other laws permitted, agree that you can prosecute somebody when he's not there. So we've done about 1.5 years since the MPP came to office. And we've been talking about Ken Ofori-Atta for 1.5 years. Only for me to hear his lawyer say yesterday that up to now, they have not been served.
Who is the lawyer?
What do you mean, who's the lawyer? Be said. So what have we been doing?
Ken Furiata. Mr. Frank Davis is one of
So
them.
what have we been doing? What has the state been doing? So for me, I don't see, there's absolutely no big deal. If the state still has a case, remember, I always believe in regime and post-regime accountability. If the state still has a case, if the state has a strong case, go ahead.
Okay.
By all means. In fact, right now, even if the Attorney General thinks that the OSP is not moving fast enough, if the Attorney General thinks that the OSP is not doing things diligently enough, I don't know, can they also start prosecution on the same crime, or is it double jeopardy?
No. I mean, on the same fact, you can't have.
No, on the same fact. So, but can they have something? What I'm saying is it possible that today say, look, you are being too slow in this, let's speed it up. Do that. And make it big. Don't let us sit down and make it look like now that the guy has gotten this, the state cannot do again. Because I'm increasingly getting to the point where I believe that for the government and the NDC, is the rhetorical and the propaganda value in this case is more than actual convicting the guy. That is better. It looks like it's better for them to use him to do propaganda. And the propaganda value.
What would they gain from that?
Again, that's the point. Political mischief and political gains. To say that this is the former Minister of Finance, he's running away from justice, blah, blah, blah. That is the propaganda value. And I believe that in this case, that value is bigger than whatever value.
But we've heard from his team, and they're saying that he's not running away from justice. He's there on medical
I didn't ask the question.
reasons.
What is the big deal? What is the hula baloo?
But the question that Ghanaians are asking as well, to be fair, is that if he has nothing to hide, if he's not running away from anything, why shouldn't he make himself
just said the guy went for medical.
No, that's what I'm saying. That on the other leg as well, Ghanaians are also asking that
what the Ghanaians are saying. I respect what the Ghanaians are saying.
available.
I respect what the Ghanaians are saying. I also respect that the man says he's sick. We've seen even in Ghana here, almost every person arrested for a crime immediately falls sick. In Ghana, we've seen that. We've seen that. Some of the cases
when you go for detention,
I'm told something happens there. All of them, and you've seen it.
Do you have a problem with Wuntumi?
With what?
Did he mention?
What is he sick?
Did he mention?
He's part of.
I'm saying almost always. So the point I'm making, Bella, is this. So
were you referring to Chairman Wuntumi?
No. I'm just
saying. Solomon is asking. That's
cases.
Why.
I'm talking about the knowledge prosecutor cases that they did. A lot of them were sick. And that's why the case traveled more than 8 years. The point I'm making is this. The man says he's sick. And now it seems the lawyer also indicated that part of that, it was factored in. It's possible then that the judge reviewed his medical conditions from Mayo Clinic. I was sitting here with you, so you say, oh, the guy said he's sick, but he's walking around. And I'm asking, don't we see sick people walking towards Kolebu? Don't we see sick people walk? So just because you've seen the guy walking...
But Dr. Zato,
I'm so surprised.
The way we were made to believe that he was so sick and could not move around, and then all of a sudden we see him on the streets.
It's not all of a sudden.
And see him on the streets of America.
I mean, to be honest, if William
with his school bag, and you are saying what?
I am saying.
People walk to Kolebu.
I am saying. No. Is it not possible that we didn't know where he was walking to? And the video, is it not possible the guy was going to hospital? He had gone there, parked his car, and was walking to see his physician? Is it not possible that he was walking? He had come from the hospital, was walking home? The point I'm making.
That's your assumption.
I'm saying those are possible.
Admire your double standard. Admire.
Look, you see the problem is, look, the point I'm making is this. If his lawyer is now saying that part of the consideration for granting him was the medical condition, that meant that his lawyers were able to convince a judge that the man was actually sick. That's the point I'm making. They were able to do that. So that means that his original idea that he was sick is not wrong. There was some merit to that argument that he was sick. They didn't mention it. Finally, I'm coming to this. I believe in regime and post-regime accountability.
You don't.
Please, let the Attorney General or let the OSP go ahead and prefer the charges. Let them try Ken. If they find him guilty, use all the diplomatic pressures and opportunities you have to bring him down, like saying that he face the charges. That's all. Nothing has changed.
Well, if he can walk to wherever, he should be able to come to Ghana and face the charges. I mean, after all, if he's not guilty, eventually the court
if I
will
leave here
determine
today and I see Ken
counseling.
Oforiatta down here coming to face crisis, I don't care. I'm just going back to do my work at Lego.
But you seem to be speaking for him in this case and saying that
Bella,
so maybe
no, I'm just saying that no, you cannot say.
Okay,
it was a specific issue. We saw the man walking. This guy said he's not sick, and I'm saying, can you see sick people walk?
Let me just read what the Office of the Special Prosecutor posted yesterday in response to that news that broke that Ken Oforiatta had gotten a green card. In actual fact, they also made available some documents indicating that the case against him in Ghana was not right in that sense. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor has taken note of media reports and a publication attributed to a law firm in Ghana that Mr. Kenneth Yao Oforiatta has been granted permanent residency in the United States, resulting from an immigration court finding that it did not find the criminal charges filed by the OSP in Ghana against Mr. Oforiatta credible. The OSP states that it is not involved in immigration hearings in the United States involving Mr. Oforiatta. The OSP's involvement is in respect of extradition proceedings against him through the Attorney General as the central authority. The OSP then states that the extradition packet is not before the immigration court, and the credibility or otherwise of the criminal charges against Oforiatta will be determined by the court in Ghana, who have jurisdiction to determine his guilt or innocence. Further, Mr. Oforiatta still remains a citizen of Ghana, and he's still amenable to be extradited to Ghana if so decided by the extradition court in the United States. This is their response.
Yes, Bella, I think I've looked at both the statement from the law offices of Minka Primo and the response from the Special Prosecutor's Office as well. You see, Bella, this whole matter ought not to have happened in the first place. See, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo became Ghana's Attorney General in 2001, he decided to go after the finance minister of Jerry Rawlings. That is the Honorable Richard Kwampepra and his deputy, Victor Salome. Because at that time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as the Attorney General of the Republic, believed that as the finance ministers, they were the principal spending, quote-unquote, officers of the Republic, and therefore decided as an Attorney General to subject them to accountability, consistent with the 1992 Constitution. Okay. Eventually, they were convicted and sentenced. They went, some served, others could not even make it, in the case of Victor Solomon. Post that, even when President John Dramani Mahama left office in 2016, his finance minister, the Honorable Setekwe, was subjected to investigation, accountability. In fact, I remember vividly that at a point, the Honorable Setekwe could not travel out of this country without going to the police CID to get permission. Post-regime accountability. In fact, Setekwe's deputy, now finance minister, the Honorable Atofose, doctor, was subjected to criminal investigation and prosecution. And I recall vividly, one day in November 2017, myself, Dr. Ayeni, working with Atofose into the Yoko office to assist in the investigation. I remember meeting one entry. At that time, he was the deputy Yoko boss. We went through the motion. Guess what? From 2017, November, it was only until E-Levy when Atofose decided as the ranking on the finance committee to oppose the E-Levy. November 19th, 2021, 25th November 2021, Speaker Bagman reached out that suddenly Yoko is looking for Atofose after 4 years. After 4 years. Because Ken Oforiatta specifically demanded the prosecution of Atofose. Simply because, please, I'm coming. I'm coming. I know what I'm talking about because I was lawyer in that matter.
So he wrote to you?
Yeah,
I'm coming. Okay.
Have to provide.
Because apparently at that time, government of Ghana decided that they were not going to go for an IMF bailout and felt that the E-Levy would be a good replacement for an IMF bailout. So the opposition Atofose then as ranking offered to the E-Levy undermined government's whole attempt to get this E-Levy passed. And eventually, even when it got passed, it came with its own issues. That became the problem of Ato. Knowing how vindictive they have used political power. Immediately after Nanado lost, the MPP lost the election of 2024. Few days for the new government to take over, Ken Ofori-Atta is granted permit by the Chief of Staff to travel outside the country. All this thing was a plot. It was a ploy. Because, you see, Akufo-Addo himself, in his inaugural speech, if you recall, he said, I shall protect the public purse. Who was the holder of the public purse?
The finance minister?
It was the finance minister.
Okay.
So any question as to the protection of public purse will be one about asking his own cousin. And that is why I think that maybe Ghanaians should not allow a president to have his own biological or familial relation handling our finances.
Only finance or any other?
No, the finance.
Only finance.
No, because that is the fulcrum.
I just wanted to know.
No, that's what I'm using.
Only
Finance.
finance. Okay. But others they come.
The reason is simple. The finance minister is the most important officer within the regime. Because everything he does cascades to everyone in the whole republic. Bella, the reason why I had to go back to this whole thing is to let you know that it is not as though Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't know that he can come to Ghana and face trial. It is a decision that, as far as accountability is concerned, he's above that.
You can't say that.
That is what it is.
Are you privy to that information?
No.
If you say it's a decision, that means they've agreed on it?
No, because you see, when I say a decision, what I'm trying to suggest is that it takes only a phone call from President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former, to say, you know what, Ken, you were the one holding the public purse that I took an oath to protect. To clear my name and to clear your name, please calm down. And there's no way Ken would deny him that opportunity.
But do we know for a fact that the president has called him or not?
To do what?
Well, to come and face charges.
And Ken had refused?
We don't know.
Is that what you are suggesting? It won't happen.
That even makes it worse.
Listen.
We don't know for a fact if he has called him or not.
Bella,
that's what I'm saying.
Look at the chronology. When the OSP first raised this issue about Ken, his lawyers wrote to the OSP saying that, oh, give us last year, May.
Yeah.
We will be back.
Here.
Then they kept shifting the goalposts till today. Now, a man who is desirous, having told your lawyers to inform a law enforcement agency that on this day I'm coming. At the time when you were doing that, you was applying for asylum.
Yeah.
Where is the faithfulness in that? Where is the sincerity in that? I am surprised that the lawyers, Minka Primo and co, still have the courage in the face of all this to be releasing public statement. You offered a statement to the public that your client will be coming May last year to face criminal investigation and, if possible, criminal prosecution. What happened? So at the time when you represented to the OSP that your client will be coming back to face trial, you were not, you knew, in fact, that your client had put in. But let me point this.
Please.
You know, today
I
decided to do some few readings on extraditions and what have you. The suggestion has been put out there that the mere granting of a green card is an immunity.
Is it really?
It has never been.
Okay.
In fact, if you look at the U.S. Supreme Court of in-re extradition of Kanayama, number 2, which is a Japanese national, this Japanese national actually had a green card, permanent residency.
Yes, of course.
When the issue about his extradition because he had committed crimes in Japan came up, he raised the same thing that Ken Ofori-Atta and his lawyers are today telling us. The American Supreme Court clearly stated that the mere filing of those charges and criminal charges against him in Japan makes him an extraditable person. And eventually he was extradited.
But you see, the other issue, maybe I should bring Yao in on this point so he can also get to speak. The other issue then is that, does the green card not offer him more protection in this
protection. No protection
even
at all.
His medical background as well,
protection.
It
Does not. So let nobody confuse us. First of all, the other thing, and let me conclude on this, is that there's an originating extradition proceedings separate, which is ongoing.
Yes.
That a decision has not been offered on that one yet.
Okay.
This one had to do with the application for his status, which has been granted. And I find it a bit.
You said this was your last point.
Yes.
Let me go to you. Let me go to you. Because all the time is going.
I just want to reference something. You see, the court finds the criminal charges in Ghana not credible.
Yes.
The American court does not have the power to make a determination on the credibility or otherwise of criminal charges filed in Ghana.
Okay.
Their jurisdiction does not extend. So this is extremely misleading. Okay. But this is propaganda that lawyers are put out there to color the conversation.
Is that really true? Is it really propaganda?
Oh, I'm not going to respond to that.
Why are you not? Why?
Because,
why are you not going to respond to
it? Propaganda. Then it means he has been doing propaganda over all the years. As a lawyer to a lot of these cases. So when he was issuing statements, mention on statements, he fused in it some level of propaganda. He's a senior in these matters. So let me just defer that. But he has made my day.
They are intimidating me.
You see, council has made my day because you see, Ghanaians ought to be educated on facts and legal propositions when it comes to these determinants. Else, it is thrown out there to the streets, to the Ghanaian public, that the granting of green card to Kenufuriata is a means of failure to come to Ghana or to be extradited if the court in the U.S. say so or the Home Secretary of the U.S. say so. And clearly, that is not the position of the law in the U.S. and in Ghana. The processes are two different processes. He filed for a stay, of a status, a different status, pending the visa that he took to the United States. The immigration court reviewed all the facts before them and came to a conclusion that he can be granted that status. So that is completely different from the extradition process.
It doesn't complicate it because
it doesn't. Those who say complication, I heard my other
Martin
colleague.
Pebu has said it. He says that the extradition will be a lengthy and very complex legal battle, except Akufo-Addo and the NPP step in.
It took almost 5 years.
No, but that is the process in America. When it comes to extradition, it takes between 3 to 5 years and more.
But that's why he has opted for that route.
That means
with
that
the expectation that an NPP government
can use that as medical background complicates matters even more.
It is about process. When someone has a green card status, it means the person can stay in America for some number of years without a visa. That is the green card.
He didn't even have the green card. We still didn't see him coming.
No, but if he has not been given the status, if he has not been given the green card, he couldn't have been in America as a valid.
But what was his business overstaying in America?
I'm not the one to answer those questions.
Well, because of the statements you are making, because genuinely, because a government official, you are concerned about the country's progress, and for some reason, charges have been leveled against you, and you know that you have not wronged the nation. You should be here to answer those questions.
You already put on record that the person has not been formally notified.
That's what his lawyer said.
If you make it impossible, Leonard, if you make it impossible for you to be served with a court project, you use that as a defense. You want to benefit.
No. You know how to serve people out of jurisdiction. So if that process has not been completed, it means that formally he has not been notified. And we are dealing with law. We are not dealing with emotions. Okay? And post-government accountability, as we speak today, people are being held accountable for their works. Yes. So you can't take Kenufuriata and say that because Kenufuriata is not currently in the jurisdiction for prosecution, there is no post-regime accountability.
Co-president?
No. Co-president.
He was a finance minister.
I don't know.
Ask who is the co-president. So post-government accountability is ongoing. Different people have been have been invited for investigation. The courts are there for people to be prosecuted. In fact, if there is even a concern for me, it is how Edoji and his team came and granted nolle prosequi for people who were even under criminal prosecution. They should have allowed the process to end for the courts to pronounce their guilt or otherwise. But they chose the path of AG entering into nolle prosequi and withdrawal of cases. And so they didn't allow post-regime accountability to be completed. And that is it over there. Now, in terms of
to ensure accountability.
So if 8 years, so if I'm telling you we have not we have to withdraw.
So that someone can also get enough time to speak.
Recently, in response to Dr. Bamia in the church, he said, look, you went out, you were beaten by your friend. Now you come home and you want to take the fight.
His campaign, thank you,
to take the fight to your wife.
Was it on his campaign, thank you, It's okay. Let's yeah, just please. Let him in.
No, was he doing on his campaign, thank you,
And seriously, as a country, I'm worried with the way we put premium on these matters of prosecution in the case of Kenufriata, when actually the cases that are leveled, including him, leveled against him and others, are not even going on. Not because of Kenufriata. Look, what are the charges that were even preferred against him? All the issues that we've been faced with. Which ones are before court? SML. Are you saying that for Kenufriata and the works that he did for Ghana and the areas of accountability that we seek from him, it is SML matter that is key? And all those people who have been charged under SML, what is the status of the prosecution today? So we are being emotional, we are using Kenufriata as a means to bring the MPP in as if people are running away from accountability.
Are you saying that he did absolutely nothing wrong? Then why did some of your MPs even want him out of parliament?
No, of course. It is not that he did something wrong in his work, but it is because as a party, people felt a change, a need for the president to change. So
you people were fighting for the party, not for the nation?
But of course, doesn't government do reshuffle? If the president today,
hold on.
No, he didn't. But that was his prerogative.
So you are saying
today, people are calling.
Hold on. The reason those MPs wanted him out of office
was not because of a criminal allegation.
It was not because
of a criminal allegation against him.
Was it in favor of Ghana or in favor of the party that you wanted?
The country and the party.
But you just said a few seconds ago that it was more a party.
No. Because as a political party, and we had members of parliament who have their own briefing that there's a need for the president to change the finance minister. That is not to say that he had done anything criminal. And today there are even calls for President Mahama to reshuffle some of his ministers, and it is under consideration.
But we haven't seen MPs in parliament ask for the removal of any appointee in this government. So it's completely different from that. Because beyond the MPs, a section of Ghanaians were also calling for the removal of the finance minister.
We have talked about that. Okay. So just to conclude, just to conclude, my point is that the granting of the U.S. green card to Kenufriata doesn't stop the process of extradition request before the U.S.
Okay.
The courts are seized with all the factors the Special Prosecutor's Office has released.
All right.
That is going. The AG is leading that charge, and when pronouncements are made to that effect, we will know where it lies.
All right.
But in terms of post-regime accountability, it is ongoing. The government is 1.5 years in power. The oral was brought into the picture. As we speak now, we don't know where the oral has got into. They used it as a propaganda tool. You used it as a propaganda tool.
I thought oral was working, but let Solomon come in.
Plea again.
So you can also share his opinions on this matter. Solomon, again, listening to Martin Kwebu, he says that he could use his health as an excuse to even prolong the process. We use this green card as an excuse to prolong this process. Frankie Davis says that at the right time, when the time is right, they'll come and account to Ghanaians and face the charges if they get the notification.
Nobody should interact.
Frank Davis does not believe in that statement, that when the time is ripe, Kenufriata will come back and account, because I've heard him on countless occasions where he has said that why must he come? If we were him, he wouldn't come. So why is he changing the position today?
Well, it's not him.
You understand? Again, when lawyers begin to do propaganda, then it makes the matter very serious. They have been doing propaganda since day one. And I'm very surprised that they think Ghanaians are not serious. See, they issued a letter telling the entire country that Kenoforiata was sick. After the OSP had invited him somewhere 24th of January 2025. At that time, they did not provide any evidence. Later on, somehow, they were able to manufacture a criminally minded letter from Mayo Clinic. This one is fake. From all aspects, it's fake. This Mayo Clinic.
How can you tell that this is fake?
Prove that it's fake.
I have contract with Mayo Clinic.
He saw the guy walking.
Allow someone to make it.
He saw him walking. That's the reason.
What makes you think this is fake? Solomon.
Well, sick people don't walk.
Please allow.
You saw the guy walking because of that.
I contract from the Mayo Clinic. I'll give you that evidence.
Why you brought this and you didn't bring your Mayo Clinic?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Enemies of regime.
Where's the correspondent?
Gentlemen, please allow him.
Where's your correspondent with Mayo Clinic?
I'm very surprised that you want to muddy yourself in this kind of matter. Protect your credibility. For Christ's sake, I know you. I know you. Don't do that. Because you are not that.
Master, don't emotionally blackmail him.
So, Minka Premo, Frank Davis, you take them serious at your own peril. Because see, the press release that they issued, the matter has to do with immigration. How did they rope in the criminal charges in Ghana? As if to say the criminal charges in Ghana was evaluated by the judge in the US and came to that determination that it was bogus. How can you do that as a lawyer? You understand? Look, the letter that I told you it was fake. Listen to them. Dear sir or madam. So they didn't even know the person that they were addressing to. And at that time, it was the OSP that had actually invited Kenoforiata. So if you were writing, you write directly to what? OSP, but they even made the general, no problem. And writing to inform you that Mr. Forata has undergone an MR-guided biopsy and has been diagnosed of what? Prostate cancer. All along, we were told that the man was dying. ICE, where did they pick Kenoforiata from? From his chilling Kuzi house or home.
With a school bag.
With a school bag at the back. Where he lives, we are told that Kamala Harris was the original person living there. The man told all of us that he was...
The apartment, part of the apartment, not that particular room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but the apartment that Kamala Harris, the former
apartment complex, yes.
Look at the
our finance minister, that never wanted to take our salary because we were poor.
So where do you live in Accra?
Please allow him.
Where do you live?
What do you want to interject? Kenoforiata lied to all of us that he was going to seek medical treatment. It turned out that no, he was going to work on his green card so that he can live permanently in the United States.
Complete.
That was the tail end of it.
So they lied about medical conditions.
Absolutely, he wasn't sick.
To buy time.
But you have a letter from Mayo Clinic.
I say it's fake. I'm telling you it's fake.
No, this letter is fake. So why did you bring a fake document here?
But just to prove
Why
that
did you bring a fake document?
But there are signatures on it.
So that was, we won't tolerate any fake document here.
Okay.
You are coming to tender something.
And you say you've done your checks.
It's fake, completely fake. And Mayo Clinic,
Don't bring fake
I have assured them that I will tender this document through the United States Embassy.
No, it's admitted in evidence.
It's fake. This one is fake.
Which evidence? So, you are allowing them to...
Allow him.
Fake document.
Please, allow him.
No, they just want to... So, when we were told that he was not going to come, later on, his own lawyers, Mika Premo, came to assure us, by May, he will be back to this country. Not just Mika Premo. Afenyo stood at the floor of Parliament and said boldly that May 2025, Kenoforiata was going to be in this country.
The same condition go west.
I think the whole MPPs are afraid of Ken's
coming. But you see, I am very surprised that...
Please hold on.
My brother will say that because of SMA, why must he come? SMA, for Christ's sake, when the price was, KPMG did their audit, we lost close to about 1.4 billion. So it's a serious matter. Now we are told that there was some 52 billion that got missing from our tax revenue. If this does not scare you and push you to even call for him to return, then I don't know what 52 billion from our tax revenue account, Ghana Commercial Bank. You see now you are shocked.
No, please. We don't keep Ghana's revenue Commercial Bank.
Oh!
Bank of Ghana.
No, they have various accounts at various places. GRA.
I'm a GRA.
GRA.
I've been in GRA till 2024 as a board secretary. So, yes.
And I'm saying that
there doesn't exist, please.
Which one does it exist?
52 billion got lost at GC.
This is one of the reasons why there has been an investigation on it. You are not aware of that.
No, that's not.
I think that you know.
On record. This is a
Actually,
platform.
Auditor General has raised those issues.
Those issues.
That is why you
that's why you have to come.
But it is not on the table as the person because reconciliation is done by the
now
ministry.
you are doing the work of Kenofurata.
I'm not.
So
But this is a platform.
And the platform is saying that. I'm saying that as part of the reasons that we need him in this country, there has been this allegation of missing 52 billion. That does not lie in your mouth to be saying that it's not true or true. Let him come and answer. And you have a
Ghana
problem.
has a missing 52 billion.
But you are not in this country. You are not aware. Now, we also have PDS to deal with it. PDS 2 is lingering. That we need him to come and answer. Now, the most important thing, which investigation I believe that this administration may be glossing over and they must revisit, the banking sector cleanup. That banking sector cleanup, when the government goes into it, I'm telling you, and why some banks were closed. These are matters that he has to come and answer. But you see, with the way Mana Kenofurata has behaved and is behaving, I think the constitutional review, they suggested that people would draw citizenship, but be allowed to hold ministerial appointment. I think we must take a second look at it and change that provision. Because you see, if he's granted a green card and subsequently an American passport, it does not mean the way we are going. If we are going to adopt all the recommendations that will be given by the Constitutional Review Committee, that people can hold ministerial positions in the future, then he can benefit from it. Because all that he will be hoping and praying for is that in the near future, in an unlikely event that Dr. What is the name? The MBB becomes the MBB becomes the government of the day, then he can sneak in, which is not going to happen anyway, so that he benefits. No, I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Okay, good. So that he benefits from it, which will be detrimental to the country called Ghana. Again, we must also take a second look at people that deliberately, because that provision will also mean that then Ghanaians that children will be born outside the country deliberately. They will impregnate them here, send them to the US, give birth there, and later they can become ministers. We must take a second look at it. Now, what I'm saying is that anybody that thinks that Kenofurata staying there is normal, then I don't know your political stance in this country. I don't know how the MPP will go back to the people of this country in 2028 and tell them that they will be fighting corruption. When all of them en bloc, they seem to suggest to me that Kenofurata staying there is normal.
No MPP person.
That is why I was very surprised about
No MPP person has said
I have heard a lot of them.
MPP is different
I think that the MPP
as a political party. We are not. You cannot tie regime accountability. We believe in accountability.
No.
You don't believe in it.
You don't believe because then
but why are we subjecting ourselves to a
You don't believe in it.
that will convince you.
No. He's the only person that
so all the people that you are prosecuting.
he was the holder of the public purse.
But being
he's the only person.
Look, it's unavailable.
If you are unavailable,
it's unavailable.
You see why I said that?
If you are
the NCC is only interested in the propaganda value of care and not the legal value.
You know what they have done?
Let him land.
You know what they have done?
Let him land.
You know what they have done?
Let's put on record that MPP is fully accountable. We are fully accountable. We have shown accountability on
you let him
every
wrap
step
up.
of the
Let
day.
him wrap up.
You cannot tie Kenofurata to accountability of MPP.
What my brother is saying exactly, they must do only one thing. Send a delegation. You know, they have been going around the United to go and bring Kerofurata down.
Please, they're counting me down, so let him make. They should go and bring him.
The day Kerofurata will enter Ghana, I will talk about everything being corrupt. If you are able to bring Kerofurata to Ghana,
because of that, they'll bring him.
Oh, let them bring him. Let them bring him.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. For all of you sending messages, thank you. I wish I could read a few, but I have to count down and leave the studios now. But the big issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you're aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you just want to advance to a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University of Gold Coast gives you that option that matches your vision. And if you want to also step into the MSc world in international relations, communications, international marketing, international law, security, diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, or an international law LLM, or security diplomacy, or MA in biblical studies, practical theology, then the pathway is open. Apply today. Get in touch with the University of Gold Coast. They make learning flexible. They make it practical as well. Call them now or WhatsApp them. In fact, just log on to their website, www.ugc.edu.gh, or call or WhatsApp them on 026-388-85555. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. In the studios, I've had Solomon Owusu, Director of Communications, United Party. I almost called you Doctor. Dr. Joshua Jebuntie Zato, Senior Fellow, Africa Policy Lens, Senior Lecturer, University of Ghana. They say I should address you properly as a member of the MPP.
But he's a member of the MPP.
Edwigita Maklo is the CEO, National Petroleum Authority, private legal practitioner, and Yabua Manyako, he's a private legal practitioner, MP for Ifia constituency. Thank you very much also to Emperor Brand for this. I apologize for turning it upside down, but this is the right way. Yes, Ose Ghana. We'll be right back with more. Keep watching.
Hello, my name is